Have you ever thought about what your retirement secret might be? Even though health, friends, and money are important, they are not enough. It's time to cut back on or change some things if you want to have a full and happy retirement. What are the 5 most important things you should stop doing when you turn 60? Watch this video to find out. By taking the time to learn and follow these basic rules, you will greatly improve the quality of your golden years. Read all the way to the end for some great tips that will change the way you think about getting older and give you the power to live your best life. Before we begin, I want to invite you to stay until the very end. I'll be sharing one special tip that could bring a bit more joy or clarity into your day. It's something small but powerful. If you find a connection here, please click the like button, subscribe, and activate the bell to stay updated on everything we share. And if you're here with me, drop this in the comments. I'm here and grateful. It helps me know we're walking this path together. Now let's begin. 1. Cut down on the number of relationships that aren't needed. A strong emotional connection is the only way to make real friends. Having just one friend can often be enough. Arthur Schopenhauer, a philosopher who lived alone, also thought this way. He said that real friendship was more important than having many friends. You might agree with me or even feel jealous of this point of view. I used to think that how many people showed up to social events showed a lot about a person's personality and social standing. You might feel envious if you saw a hallway full of flower arrangements and wreaths. In line with this belief, I made many friends and took on many different duties, like serving on the organizing committee, planning reunions, and being an active participant in parties and gatherings. Saturday and Sunday were busy with social events and ceremonies, so I made sure I could make it to all of them. In those days, going to events in person was normal. That was before it was simple to talk to people online. I worked really hard to keep these friendships going because I thought being there for each other was the most important thing about friendship. Success makes friends, and trouble tests them, as Publius Cyrus wisely said. There have been times when I was very successful in business, and times when I was very unsuccessful. It wasn't always easy to get help from my friends, but when I did, they were there for me. This was a sobering reminder that hard times show us what kind of person we really are. In order to make my contact list easier to use, I got rid of any connections that were no longer relevant. I also decided to take another look at my contact list. When I cut down on the size of my network, I felt a huge wave of relief and clarity. Think about all of the family and friends that are in your phone's address book. A good number of them are people whose names you know and who you briefly met not long ago. You might decide to keep these contacts in case they come in handy in the future. This strategy may have worked for you as a child, but now you need to be smart and focus on what's important. You might want to go to fewer social events and spend more time and energy on the relationships that make your life better. If you want to have a happy and fulfilling old age, having real friends is more important than keeping up a lot of superficial connections. 2. Get less greedy. I recently got to see a friend again after a long time. We ran into each other and caught up on each other's lives. During our conversation, she told me about a bad thing that happened with her husband. However, even though he was retired, he took a part-time job in a different area. Because of the distance, they could only see each other on the weekends. He recently needed a large amount of money right away and asked his wife to help him, and she did. She sent him the money without any doubts or questions because she trusted him. Sadly, this trust was not well placed. A few days later, she found out that her husband had been scammed into investing in a scheme that promised high returns, but actually cost him a lot of money. It took a huge toll on her emotions, and it was a turning point in her life. She realized that this had taught her a valuable lesson about the risks of being too greedy and how important it is to protect what you already have. Once you reach retirement, you should stop trying to get higher returns and instead focus on keeping and protecting what you have saved. Greed's never-ending needs can make you lose control and make bad decisions that could have terrible results. While it may be tempting to strive for rapid financial gain, this often leads to more harm than good. When you are young, taking risks can be a good way to learn. But as you get older, the stakes are higher, and it gets harder to get back on your feet after a financial setback. Another saying goes, "It's easy to climb a mountain, but descending is the real challenge." Being greedy may seem easy, but letting go and being happy is much harder. So, as you get older, it's important to control and lessen your greed, and look for happiness and peace in simpler, more stable parts of life. To keep your emotional and financial health, you need to be able to recognize when greed is coming up and deal with it with awareness and care. Adopt a mindset that puts happiness and safety above risky activities, and find comfort in the peace of nature in the present. If this helped you learn something, please leave a thank you comment below the video's comments. Third, cut back on carbs. As people get older, they often lose their appetite, which makes meals easier to prepare. People over 65 who live alone may notice this trend the most because they may only make a few side dishes and maybe kimchi for their meals. Older people in Korea often follow this pattern in their eating, as their meals are usually very simple and made up of whatever is in the fridge at the time. Even though this is practical, eating this way can throw off your balance. By looking at what older Koreans eat, it's clear that a big part of their calories comes from carbs. This reliance on carbs, however, comes with not getting enough protein and possibly not getting enough essential minerals and vitamins. To address these issues and improve health, the Korean Nutrition Society recommends a diet that includes 5 main food groups: dairy, vegetables, fruits, grains, and proteins. By following these suggestions, you can help make sure that your nutritional needs are met. Here are 3 important eating habits that will help you age well and live a long time. 1. Eat a lot of small meals. Changing your eating habits to include smaller meals more often is one of the best ways to stay healthy as you age. Researchers have found that people who live to be very old, like 90 or 100 years old, tend to eat smaller amounts throughout the day. As you get older, your digestive system works less well. So instead of eating 3 big meals a day, it's better to eat lighter meals in the evening. If you want to keep up your energy and make sure you get all the nutrients you need, even when you're not hungry, you might want to divide your food intake into smaller, easier to handle portions that you eat throughout the day. 2. Make sure you get enough protein. The body's ability to make protein decreases with age, so it's important to make sure you get enough of this important nutrient. Protein is important for keeping muscle mass and strength up, because these things can decrease with age. This is called sarcopenia. Sarcopenia can make it hard to move around, and it's linked to several health problems, such as diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. To fight this, eat foods that are high in protein like lean meats, fish, eggs, beans, and dairy products. These will help your muscles stay healthy and your overall health. Third, cut back on medications. As people get older, they often need more and more medications to deal with pain and health problems. But it's important to be careful when taking supplements and other health products, especially ones you buy from websites you can't trust. Well, instead of taking supplements that could be harmful, you should focus on eating natural foods that are high in nutrients to meet your nutritional needs. A healthy, well-balanced diet with various whole foods can help you avoid taking too many medications and improve your overall health. By following these eating habits, older people can better control the nutrients they take in and keep their health in good shape as they age. Fourth, talk less. More often, talking is something that many people do as they get older. Many people believe that once a person turns 60, intelligence is less important, wealth is less important after 70, and by the time they turn 80, just being alive is all that matters. This saying says something very important about getting older and how people interact with each other. especially in places like nursing homes where the rules for respect change a lot. Some of the most respected people in nursing homes aren't necessarily the ones who are very rich or have held important jobs in the past. Instead, the most respected residents are the ones who bring tasty treats or home-cooked meals when their family members come to visit. Sharing food goes beyond money and professional success, showing a key lesson about how important it is to be present over being famous. As people get older, they gain a lot of experience and knowledge, which makes them more likely to give advice and share their thoughts. But it's often a good idea to control this urge and practice self-control. People are criticizing older adults for not being good role models for younger generations. This is a sign of a bigger problem. It shows how important it is for older people to be careful and understand that younger people have their own ways of doing things and solutions. Controlling the urge to give advice when it's not asked for, and understanding that younger generations may find their way through life in ways that are different from how you did, can help relationships get along better. By being quieter, older people can better understand how the ideas and perspectives of younger people are changing and help make the exchange of wisdom and ideas more fair. 5. Spend less time sitting down. How long do you sit or lie down every day? Many people know how important it is to exercise regularly, but they spend most of their day sitting or lying down. The fact that about half of Koreans don't meet the recommended levels of physical activity shows how widespread the problem is. For long periods of time, sitting makes the abdominal muscles weaker, adds to belly fat, and slows down blood flow. As people age, their bodies naturally lose some of their abilities, but staying active can slow this down a lot. People who live long and healthy lives all have one thing in common. They stay active by doing normal things, like doing chores around the house or going for walks in their neighborhoods. Researchers have found that even cutting down on sitting time by just 30 minutes a day can lower blood pressure and have health benefits similar to those of regular exercise. Dr. Rosenberg says that for people with chronic pain or limited physical function, reducing the amount of time they spend sitting may be an easier and more effective way to improve their health than doing more exercise. Adding fun and interesting things to your daily routine is the most important thing you can do. This could mean walking pets, gardening, or doing other light activities that make you happy and healthy. This idea is good for everyone. Staying active in a way that fits your lifestyle is important for your health. You can improve your health and quality of life by making these activities a regular part of your life. We appreciate you being here with us. If you felt seen, heard, or uplifted today, please subscribe and hit the bell to stay connected. You are part of a growing, powerful circle of wisdom. And if you're ready to live with intention, comment, "I rise with every sunrise." Let it be your gentle declaration to the world that you are still becoming, still unfolding, still full of light. Until next time, take care and keep shining.